Good.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Happiness Chat. Who said life is a smooth ride? It has its ups and downs with a few bumpy rides too. How you travel the path of life defines who you are as a person. Facing challenges since his youth, overcoming them, and emerging stronger, and that too always with a smile. It is my pleasure to welcome my guest today, Vimal Kaul, to the Happiness Chat. It's great to have you over. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much, Shilpa, for inviting me on this happiness chat. So grateful to you. It's my honor to be here. Yes.
Very kind of you. Thank you. So tell me, you started your life in Kashmir and then, with the turn of events, had to move to Delhi. Please share your journey with us.
Yeah, there's a saying that the paradise on earth is in Kashmir. It's Kashmir, which is the paradise of earth. So I was lucky enough to be born there, brought up there, had my education, and then I got married in Kashmir only. And I had children there. It was a beautiful journey as long as I was there in Kashmir. But unfortunately, political turmoil happened, and it is known to the world. I had to move out because there was threats to the life for me and my family. So I had to leave and landed up in Delhi. So during that trying and testing times, then I started my journey once again in Delhi, all over again. The zeal and the enthusiasm was not, it did not die because of my moving out from a place where I belonged, you see. So that's how I landed in Delhi. It was not by choice, but by force.
By force. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm just imagining coming from paradise on earth into a place which is just not paradise on earth. My God, that's a kind of displacement, which I don't think anybody would want. But like you said, it was not by choice, it was forced upon you. It was just for your safety that you had no choice. And to overnight leave your home and just go, it's such a traumatic experience. So that brings me to my next question. Coming from Kashmir, how did you come to terms with living in Delhi?
Yeah, Delhi was my second home because my extended family was all in Delhi. And the first choice was definitely Jammu, where my parents used to living in Jammu. But then that to do something on your own. So to experiment, I moved on to Delhi, came here, and started exploring what I can do in Delhi. Delhi, if you ask me, I always consider Delhi, though it is a capital of India, as a concrete jungle comparing Kashmir, you see. But as I said, that enthusiasm and the zeal never died in me. So I looked at the opportunities, and my extended family had a great hand in giving me, supporting me, and giving me all that uh, support to venture out into a new business, which I explored and started a new business in Delhi. Though it was difficult to set up a new business all over again, and but I managed for a year and a half, and thereafter, then I got the opportunity to join Reliance, where it was definitely not a piece of cake. The working hours used to be from 14 to 18 hours a day. So that continued for almost 5 to 6 years. But the enthusiasm and the zeal never died in me. And I took the challenges, as I had mentioned earlier also, head on, not falling behind on anything, because that I inherited from my parents, my father especially. In my childhood, I could see him heading on, meeting the challenges and doing things which I really wanted to do on my own. So that's how the journey in Delhi started way back in early 90s. Yeah.
Amazing. That's quite a journey. So tell me, through all your challenges, what kept you motivated?
Motivation was, yes, I have to do something for myself, for my family, for my children. You know, I had two children, my wife, and all along, my wife and my parents have been a pillar, and my family, for me to take the decision, whatever decision I took, they were always behind me. Okay, go ahead. In spite of we having our own business in Jammu also, but I chose to, as you would say, the destiny brings you where you belong to. So I came to Delhi. Yeah.
So that kept you moving. It was the love for the family and the legacy that you got from your parents to take challenges head on, keep moving forward. I think that is what kept you going, because I think as human beings, so many times we don't have a choice. You know, we are faced with a challenge, and we are all, I think, survivors. Basically, we are fighters. That's how we managed to live through all the centuries and through all the troubles in our life. And I think the love of the family, just the fact that you are the provider and you have to provide for them, I think that is enough motivation. And of course, with your bent of mind, you know, of being a fighter, I think that's what kept you going, which is really, really something. So that brings us to the next very interesting part: art of living. How did you get into this?
Yeah, while I was working in Delhi in early 2000, I met my friend, and they were into art of living, and they said, okay, you do this basic program. So I kept on delaying that almost 3 to 4 years. But in early 2000, I said, okay, now let me do it. When I did that basic program, I repented. I said, oh my God, I have wasted my 4 years. It's a very simple program based on your breath. How do the body, mind, and breath, because it has a unique combination. Through breath, you can control your mind. Through breath, you can take care of your body. I learned it in that first program I did. And it was a dramatic change for me. Breath in our school, colleges, or universities, we are never taught to use our breath to calm down yourself, to be centered so that your decisions are centered and better for your own self. I think this should be made a curriculum in the schools and colleges and the universities to teach the breathing technique. And this breathing technique is open forum on Google search, you name it. Sri Ravi Shankar has given a beautiful uh, thing like called the breathing technique Sudarshan Kriya, which takes out your toxins from your body. You know, through breath, you can take out your toxins up to 70 to 80%. The breath does that kind of wonder. And it is a great gift to the mankind by Sri Ravi Shankar ji. And I really fell for that. And since then, till today, I have been practicing. And since the COVID started, I would like to share. We started daily sadhana, the daily practice, early morning 6:30 to around 8:15, which I conduct the class every morning for the from 28th of March till today, every day in the morning. So it's free of cost. So whosoever has done the basic happiness program, now it is called happiness program, he or she can join free, free of cost to practice the sadhana. We do yoga, meditations, and the breathing technique, which is called Sudarshan.
Wow, that is amazing. And I also know some of the phenomenal work you're doing, even with the prisoners. Please tell me about that.
Yes. Here in the prisons, across the globe, Art of Living is doing free courses for prison inmates. And I have been fortunate to conduct three courses in prison, in Kasna jail, closer to where I live. And the reaction of the participants, hardcore criminals, you know, when they did this program and they did learn Sudarshan Kriya, they were crying, they were howling like mad. And they said, why you were not came early to teach us this? So the transformation in a person, in a man, after the continuous practice really reflects. But that was a 4-day program for the prison inmates, and it transformed them in 4 days. Through this breath, you can change whatever you want and you get centered yourself. That's the most important part of life, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And to stay happy. The quotient is happiness. Where does it come from? From within, isn't it? And through breath, we can control our body, mind, and be happy without any anxiety in life. Yes, challenges will come, but you will get these enthusiasm and the zeal uh, uh, to do that with full enthusiasm and head on. You can do it. That's my experience.
Wow, what a beautiful experience. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. In fact, I keep doing courses, and in this year I did two of them. One was the Science of Happiness from Yale, and the second one was improving business through a culture of health from Harvard. And when I started these, I did not know about COVID. And I was just thinking, I said, what is it? It's like, God is just unfolding things that health and business were going to be the two big things in the year 2020. And in both of them, I would love to share with you the importance of our breath, you know, this relaxation, be it yoga, be it meditation. In some place, I mean, of course, they keep referring back to India because that's from where yoga comes from, and pranayam and all comes from there. And in Harvard, they even They use many scientific terms like the diaphragmatic breathing, what we call the from the stomach, the breathing and all. But what I love about it is that they do so much research, they do so much data, and they do it across sections, all ages, all stages, with students, with office goers, with retired people, with the ladies. They do it like that, and it just is so nice to know that even for the people with a very scientific bent of mind, you don't have to listen just because X is saying or Y is saying. You have Google over there, you have enough evidence. Please go search. This year is such an anxious year for us. Everyone is having challenges and anxiety. So if one can, through simple techniques, learn to cope with this, I think it's wonderful.
Absolutely, I agree 110% with you. You will be surprised that we conducted the programs for COVID warriors, the police force, the nurses, the doctors, and taught them free of cost Sudarshan Kriya program. It's a 4 day program, 2 hours each. So we taught them, and we took the classes of, I personally took classes of more than 250 people. And there were doctors also. And all this research, what you had referred to, is there on the Google. Simply, you have to find the benefits of Sudarshan Kriya or the findings of Sudarshan Kriya. That's the core of art of living, breathing technique, and worldwide, almost over 156 countries across the globe, people are practicing Sudarshan Kriya. It's a rhythmic breathing technique. Nothing, nothing other than that. So it has transformed the lives across the globe. That's wonderful. And there are n number of research papers on Sudarshan Kriya from AIMS doctors from Norway, from Germany, across the globe. And number of papers, like you mentioned about Yale and Harvard. So there also, Sudarshan Kriya recently, Yale has given a very good scientific research report on Sudarshan Kriya. So it's breathing, which we were never taught in the school, that how important is the breath. That much we know. If the breath is not there, we will pop off. Okay, breathing in and breathing out. In between is the whole life. So that life we need to live happily. How do we live that? Use the breath. So it's all experiential programs which Art of Living is conducted for uh, children from 5 years to 80, 90 years. Age is no bar. For corporates, for, like I mentioned, about prisons, household ladies, for everyone. It's it's wonderful. It's all experience. One has to experience and then realize what difference it can make.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Otherwise, it's just, I heard someone was saying, but when you experience anything, then you know how fantastic something is.
Which we have been ignoring all this while.
Yes,
So
that's
yeah.
true. That brings me to my next question. I should call it the mouth watering question. Your latest venture called Kitchen. How did that happen?
This is, I would say, the COVID pandemic for across the globe, for us also. And one fine day, the whole family, my children, one by one, were without any job. So one fine day, we all were sitting, and one of my daughter-in-law, they said, Dad, why don't we start Kashmiri Rogan Josh and start marketing it? I said, anytime. I'm a foodie guy. I love cooking. And Shil, you are also part of that. You have also tasted that food. So I said, why not? The I would say it was given to me by my mother. My mother. She's been my mentor on cooking. I used to hog like a. I can't use that word now in this forum, but and she taught me, and I used to stand with her in the kitchen and to learn. So that was the day we started Cowl's Kitchen. I said, let people also, apart from the immediate family and the extended family in Delhi, they are used to of having Kashmiri food, authentic by my mother, which I legacy I'm continuing. So wherever of in the last these 3 months, we started 3 months back. Whosoever has tasted has gone gaga on the food. It is one of the, I would say, a big achievement to start a new venture again because I retired 8 years back. So it's a new venture for me also. And I love cooking. Yeah.
Well, we are all so happy that you started this venture. We are loving it. In fact, one of the things which I'm going to do as soon as I land in Delhi is to try the yakni all over again. So many memories associated with it, the fantastic food. And also, I keep reading about the awesome feedback that your food gets, on social media. I keep reading about it. I mean, I know it because I've eaten it since I was a little girl. But I am so glad that you started this Call's Kitchen, because really what you say, authentic, hygienic food. People are caged in their houses, they are sad, and food is such a mood lifter. And if you can get your fantastic Kashmiri food to eat, I think besides the cooking and the food part, you're doing a noble deed, because you're making people happy through your food. So please carry on doing that.
Thank you so much. And I uh, pray that we continue doing it multifold so that we reach out Delhi NCR area. Yes, we are catering to, and we have been, catering uh, all the places in Delhi NCR. So that's a great thing. In the last 3 months, we have been able to do it the way we do at home for our own self. We do the cooking and we eat. So same thing, we give it to the people to taste and enjoy. You know.
I have to share one little anecdote with you over here, that normally I don't like food, which has oil or ghee or something like that. Because for me to burn calories is very difficult. So I like to watch what I'm eating. So my husband always jokes. He says, all your rules, all your discipline goes to the dogs when it comes to Kashmiri food, homemade Kashmiri food. He said, you can see the asli ghee floating, but you will pick up and you will just drink it all up. I said, yes. I said, for Kashmiri food, I have no rules, because it is a delicacy for me. I don't eat it every day. So when I eat it, I will eat it. And I think in my mind, tomorrow I'm going to have only khichdi and nothing else. I have to strike a balance over there. So I'm just thinking about the landscape of your life, starting from paradise on earth, coming to the concrete jungle, doing your own thing, then working with Reliance, then getting into art of living, now starting Call's Kitchen. I mean, what a varied life you have lived. So, can you share with us some tips on how to deal with challenges? Because you've been dealing with challenges since you were very young.
Challenges, how it came to me. Being a sports person, I played cricket in the school, in college, then in the university. And I always led from the front. I was captain in the school, then college, then in the university. And that, leading the team from the front inculcated that kind of, you know, a naturalness in me to accept and move on. Like I would say, the challenge, if it comes, if I take that challenge as a challenge, think over it, brood over it, and then move on, then only I'll be able to take some solutions for that. If I take the challenge, oh, it's a burden, it's a challenge, how will I do it? No. So that kind of approach to the life, meeting the challenges head on. One, then after I joined Art of Living, the breathing techniques made me so strong internally, and the meditations. They brought out that naturalness to the top, I would say. Fearless, number one, it makes you fearless and centered, taking challenges and doing the solutions for the challenges now. If we are not centered, where is happiness? Happiness not, is not around us, it's within us. If we keep living in the past, it will give us, bad thoughts, always giving us goosebumps. If we live in the future, there will be anxiety all along. So, where is the life? Where is happiness? In this moment, now, now. So, through the breath, you can achieve these benefits for yourself so that whatever challenges in life come, you can take them head on and take the solutions for them. Decisions you will have to make now in the present moment for future also, isn't it? So that's how it is.
Perfect, perfect. Your decision making, living in the moment, taking on challenges head on, and moving forward. I think that is just the right approach in these challenging times for all of us to learn from you. So tell me the final question: what does happiness mean to you?
Happiness means me, the whole world. If I'm happy, my happiness is within me. How I take things, like uh, in Art of Living, we say, don't become football of others' mistake, others' opinions. You know, most of the time in our life, we are relying on others' opinions, what they would be talking about me, what they would say if I do this, if I do, and half of the time we don't do what we really want to do in life. So, in life, frankly, no one has time for others. You have to live your life. Forget about others. They are living their own life. Let them be there. Don't become football of their opinions. It is your life. It is your happiness. It is your career or whatever you make do in life. So live in the present moment because present moment is inevitable, and don't become football of others' opinion. Live for yourself. And happiness will dawn on you like I don't have words to express that. It's such a wonderful feeling, I would say.
That's so
So
No, I love this very new interpretation. The reason I like to ask about this question is today you've given us such a good interpretation of happiness is stop bothering about what other people will think, what they will talk, because it is just in our mind. They don't have the time to think, talk about you. They are so busy with their own lives, with their own problems. So why are we losing sleep on that? Why are we losing out on our happiness thinking about such silly things? So I think that's a beautiful definition that you have given us today is live your life. We are in charge of our happiness. We are not in charge of other people. They are not in charge of us. Stop wasting your time, energy, emotions, and valuable happiness on thinking like that. I think that is a beautiful definition you have given us today of happiness. And your story can be a lesson for us to learn how to accept challenges and face them bravely. Right now, the entire world is living in a challenging time and struggling with it. When we hear and see people like you, it assures us that tough times don't last, but tough people do. Thank you so much for joining us today in the Happiness Chat. It has been so wonderful talking to you.
thank you so much, Shilpa. You thought about me and sharing my little journey with all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure completely. We have learned, we have gained something from you. And for everybody out there, until we meet again, be happy, be safe. Thank you.
Stay healthy and happy. Look after yourself.